What up, YouTube? This video is taken on this Tuesday morning, July 14th, 2020. Time right now is 9:27 a.m. and decided to do a vlog today. We're headed to Busch Gardens Tampa. I'm here with my buddy Tice from DIY Florida, and just like the government, we don't let a good crisis go to waste. When this whole coronavirus thing happened and they came out with a discount for the annual pass for Busch Gardens and SeaWorld, we picked up that annual pass, and we already went to SeaWorld like 2 weeks ago, and it was a pretty good time. I mean, we just, even though everything's restricted and you had to wear a mask, we just went there, rode the coasters, and left. And yeah, we're just going in and riding coasters. It was a good time, so we're hoping that we'll have just a good time here in Tampa. I haven't been to Busch Gardens Tampa since they closed Quasi, the year they closed Quasi, whatever year that was. But looking forward to riding some good coasters today, and figured I would vlog the experience, see how everything is. And we're en route to get there at opening in 30 minutes. So see you after the break. Okay, we made it in. It wasn't that big of a deal to go in at all. And there's Iron Quasi. So we decided to go right and try to check out Montu and Cheetah Hunt first. Okay, so we just got off of Montu. When we first walked up to it, all the rides had a weather hold. But we only waited like 10 minutes and then got on. Rode front seat. Definitely worth it. Just wasn't jerky or anything, just nice, smooth, going through all the inversions. Front seat was definitely worth it. They are running one train ops, and they asked the operator if that was just in the morning, and she said all day they're going to run one train. So it is a little slow loading, but waiting for them to dispatch the train to get you some shots. What do you think, Mr. Tice?
I think it's pretty sweet, man. It's a sweet ride. Gotta love the classics.
Yeah. There it goes. I looked up the statistics. It was built in 1996. Alphengeist, which is at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, was a year later, 97. Alphengeist has a taller drop, but only 6 inversions. This has 7 inversions. And like I said, front row seat on this was nice and smooth, good aerials, and I do like they have good tunnels and ground rushing. Okay, we just got off Cobra's Curse. It was my first time riding it. It was actually a pretty good coaster for what it is. Oh yeah, it really whipped me over we were in the last car. You see how it takes off there? It really whipped us over. We kind of got gypped on the spinning part. I guess Tice and I way equal. The front car of ours had a mother and a child, and man, they were really spinning around real fast. We only did like 2 or 3 revolutions. They were like really spinning around.
They were cruising.
Cruising, yeah. Yeah, but it definitely, when it goes up over the hill, it really takes off. It kind of took me by surprise. But yeah, only 5-minute wait, so. Hungry hippo. Cheetah Hunt was 65 minutes, so we figured it wasn't worth the wait. We'll move on. Yeah, that's what I'm usually doing around this time.
Is it really?
So, those are the buffers. And the one thing that gets me about this drop tower is that the eddy current brakes pretty much start close to the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You see how they have 2 rows of eddy current brakes?
Yeah.
And then it goes to 1 row by the blue.
Oh.
But that 1 eddy current brake goes all the way up too close to the top.
Okay. Oh, those are eddy current brakes?
Yeah, they could have had it. I guess it was going too fast.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
one,
I guess so.
the one at King's Dominion is 300 feet tall, but the eddy current brakes don't. They're like 25% up the tower. It's a
Really?
free fall. So
Wow.
that's the one thing that gets me about it. They could have had it gone faster, but.
I didn't know they
Yeah, and
shock
then
you out like that.
then it's on the eddy current brakes, and then the buffer will stop it. And then it comes down and latches in the gondola. So what I was talking about earlier, for those who are following at home, this ride uses eddy current brakes, which pretty much it uses magnets to brake. You can go on Wikipedia. But the actual gondola has permanent magnets on it. And then all these white strips they're just copper bars. And the magnets, when they run along the copper, creates the eddy current effect, which slows down the gondola. So there's no, like, it can't fail unless somehow the brake fins get ripped off or if the permanent magnet falls off. But after riding it, that was my first time riding it in like 5 years. I mean, it does go fast enough because when you drop, you do get, your pressure's on your stomach when you're hanging there, and then when you drop, you do kind of float back in your seat. But to me, the King's Dominion drop tower is a lot better. The whole facing downward is kind of just a gimmick. I'd rather just be on a regular drop tower and have the weightlessness feeling. And like I said, if you ever go to King's Dominion, their drop tower, the eddy current fins are only like, off of memory, like probably like 35% off up the tower. Here, they're pretty much braking it the whole entire time. So, and oh yeah, the thing about eddy current brakes is you can't come to a complete stop with eddy current brake. It will only slow you down. It won't stop you. You had to have like actively producing electromagnetic field to stop you, like they do in LSMs. So that's why they have these buffers here to actually use hydraulic pressure to slow you down to a nice soft stop. And the actual equilibrium of slowing down happens pretty high up. So the interesting part is as it's pulling up the drop tower, it's fighting the eddy current brakes as it's pulling up. So that's why it waits till it gets down to one fin to go faster. So you see right there, reach the equilibrium of gravity forcing it down, and the eddy current brakes providing resistance. And then when it hits the buffers, it uses hydraulics to have a nice soft stop. Okay, we just got off the Wild Mouse. I forget the real name of it, I guess Serpent or something. When I had my pass 5 years ago, I never rode it because it always had a line, but it was walk on today. I actually rid in this same exact ride when it was in Williamsburg. Sand Serpent. Oh, it's Sand Serpent? It's Sand Serpent. I rode the same exact ride when it was in Williamsburg, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And I don't know what the theme of it was there, and I can't remember what area of the park it was. But I know that this is the same exact ride. They picked it up and moved it. One interesting thing is all the trims up on the top. It was just Tyson and I in the front seat. None of the trims were working up, or they had them engaged up at the top, so it really did whip you around. I think I remember Hershey Park's Wild Mouse, they trim it up at the top. And then Hershey Park's Wild Mouse, the cars never stop. You get on them while they're moving, and this one they stop in the station. So okay, Tigris was a 20-minute wait, so we decided to wait. The LSM on Tigris is made by Intrasys. Intrasys probably makes the LSMs on 90% of coasters today. There's only a few exceptions, which actually Cheetah Hunt's an exception. But pretty much if you ride an LSM coaster, it's like 90% chance it's made by Intrasys. And maybe I'll talk about the history of that company. But anyway, the long white piece is the stator motor, and the short, I can point it. The long white piece is the stator motor. The short blocks in between are Hall effect sensors that pick up the polarity of the magnets on the train, and it's synchronous LSM. So the magnetic field being generated by the stator motors has to align up in sync with the polarity of the magnets on the permanent magnets on the train. So maybe in the future I can do a video talking more in depth on how LSMs work. But a little bit of trivia for you. So these stator motors are air cooled. As you can see, they have blower fans, and then just throws air up through the pipes that have holes in it to cool down the stator motors. So I guess this, even though we're out in Florida, this LSM doesn't cycle enough to that system is adequate to cool it down, I guess. The trains are really tight. What do you think?
Oh,
Yeah. I was surprised how small the seats were. But overall, you know, it was a 20-minute wait. For a 20-minute wait, it was a good ride. You know, for what it is.
You don't feel like you're going to fall out, that's for sure. You're tight in that seat, really tight.
Yeah, I'm not, the comfort strap, they should just get rid of it because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it didn't really do anything, yeah. Maybe just to make you feel better.
Yeah. They have like straps on your feet, kind of like if you rid it in a Flight of Fear, which I read in at King's Dominion, which is made by Premier Rides, same manufacturer. But that's a linear induction motor, and I think Flight of Fear was Premier Rides all in-house linear induction motors. And like I said before, this is a Premier Ride with Intrasys LSM.
Definitely feel like you're gonna fall out at that top part.
Oh yeah, it's definitely just hanging by the harness. And then it did have a, when you finally get over top to that part, it does have a nice little whip going over the top. I was surprised. Okay, this is LSM for Cheetah Hunt made by Intamin, and this LSM was actually made in-house. It's not made by Intrasys, the company that did the LSM for Tigris. But one thing I want to point out is these stator motors are cooled by water. As you can see, they have chilled water connection that runs through the stators to keep them cool, because it is Florida and it is hot. And we'll wait for the train to come by. It makes a good sound. And your Hall effect sensor is right there. I don't know too much about these, except Intamin actually does it in-house.
Here they come.
There's too much screaming, but it makes a really cool, like, how would you, like a
whirring noise.
Whirling noise. Okay, here's some eddy current brakes at the end, and I think they lower down when the train launches. Yeah, they're on mechanism, so they'll lower down when the train launches. So that's in case of a rollback. They shoot up to just help slow the train down before it gets back into the LSM. And like I said, all those things are they're usually copper, but they can be
Here they come.
yeah, they do lower down.
Busch Gardens is here. Face coverings at all times.
And you know, I automatically said they were copper because I know some eddy current brakes are copper. Like the ones that are used on Intrasys systems. They're just copper painted white. But I'll have to do my research. They could be made out of another ferrous material, I think. And they would still function as eddy current brakes. Okay, so it's 1:45 and we did a horrible time vlogging. So pretty much what happened was we ate lunch, then we went to ride Shrika and it broke down. So we went to Kumba and they were doing their train cleaning on Kumba. Then we go and we sit down in the train and it broke down. So we went back in line and must have been a restraint problem because maintenance came out there. They did 3 clicks on the restraint, made sure the sensor showed green, and then after that happened, they let us get on. So then we went to ride Cheetah Hunt, but Cheetah Hunt 65 minutes, and since we have an annual pass, don't want to wait that. So then we went to ride Montu, and they're still running one train at Montu, and it was 55 minutes. So since we have an annual pass, we're just going to head on out. So definitely the key is to get here when they open, because it's definitely not as crowded in the morning.
Yeah, definitely better. We got on stuff fast in the morning.
Yeah. And then they do like when we were at SeaWorld, they were cleaning every single train every single time, like wiping them down real quick. Here, they don't do that, but they'll stop loading and they clean the whole train. So you would have to expect that might happen while you're in line.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, for being annual pass, just coming in, riding some coasters, you know. Oh yeah, one thing about Kumba, I haven't rode in a while. It was fine the beginning part, and then towards the end part, it was really head banging.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, it got really rough towards the end. Definitely not B&M smooth. Montu, like I said, we were in the front seat, totally worth it. It was super smooth.
That was awesome.
So, okay, if you found this video entertaining, let me know, and next time we come to Busch Gardens, we'll vlog again. If this is the type of videos you want. Thanks for watching. So actually we made a good decision not to wait in line, because as soon as we were leaving, they made an announcement they're closing all the rides down due to the weather. So we actually made a good decision for once.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
It worked out.
See you guys later.